Good afternoon. My name is Karen Fuller, and I am one of the attorneys for the plaintiff. I am here mainly today. I was supposed to be in another trial that's hopefully going to start tomorrow. You may see me in the courthouse. In that trial, if you don't find a judge, I may be back in this courtroom. Just as Mr. Hunter is only here today, does anyone find it confusing or odd that we all may not be here during the entire trial? Is that okay? You guys fine with that? Okay. We've been talking a lot about medical malpractice and tort reform and pediatricians. And I want to turn the topic a little bit right now and ask you about the second part of the equation. And the second part is money. This trial is going to happen because the lawyers for Sammy are going to be asking for money due to negligence. Can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Could you read my lips during all that?
Barely.
Okay. We're going to talk about money right now. I want to ask about some of your feelings about the fact that we are here seeking money damages against the doctor. Now, how many people, just even hearing that, feel a little bit of upsetness maybe inside? That makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not feeling all the way biased, but it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. 7, 21, 48, and 2, and 45. What makes you, if you can, tell us, what makes you uncomfortable about that? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, 45, you're going like this, so.
To articulate it. I think, well, I mean, I guess a simple answer, or one simple answer, maybe not the best one, that there's inevitably a gray area, especially when you start talking about money, because you're attaching a very finite thing to something which may not be so finite in terms of experiences and pain and compassion.
So it's a little bit of a difficult job.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Understandably, you have a difficult job if you're jurors in a medical malpractice case where money damages are sought. Other than just feeling that it's difficult, are there anyone else that raised their hand or anyone else? What made you uncomfortable when I started talking about money?
Well, as I said before, with my recent experiences, I have a very high regard for the medical profession. And so it's kind of rubs me in the wrong way.
Okay.
Now, maybe if it had been me.
Right. So, and that's a great answer. I like the rub you the wrong way kind of analogy. If you're feeling like you're getting rubbed the wrong way before we've even begun a trial, my question is going to be, are you sure you can put all of that aside so that you're not rubbed the wrong way and that you're only thinking about this case and the facts here and Sammy and the doctor and not just the fact that you're being rubbed the wrong way? So some of the other jurors that raised their hand would, yes, juror number 55.
I don't think anyone in this room wants a victim to go without compensation or having his or her needs met. But when the courts become the beneficiary of most of the award or a lot of the award, I think that's what bothers people. That's what bothers me.
Okay, I'm sorry, when the courts, meaning the system?
Whoever benefits from an award, besides the victim.
Now, I understand what your concern is. Can you put aside your concern for who gets what or how all of this gets sorted out after a verdict is entered and just focus on the fact that there is someone who may be entitled to money damages if the doctor was negligent, and just follow the instructions of the court and enter a jury verdict. Could you do that?
No, I could award a victim everything to meet all of his needs, the rest of his life if that was needed. But I don't like enriching the system.
So, despite the court telling you that you should only consider the elements relating to it, in this case, family leave, you could not obey that instruction.
Well, I could obey it if I had to obey it, but I don't. All right, let me just say it. It really bothers me that lawyers make most of the money when a court gives an award.
Okay, so you're not alone. A lot of people.
I know I'm not. That's
right. And that's the great thing about this is that you're speaking on behalf of other people in here, and that's just to show your support. How many people support juror number 55? So there's you have support.
Okay.
Okay, so now my question is, understanding that you feel that lawyers, me, Mr. Whalen, Mr. Coluccio, Ms. Ringer, her side of the table, all of us may or may not get compensated. Can you put that out of your mind when we get to the end of the case, if you find that there was negligence, and enter a full money judgment for Sammy Weed? Completely disregarding the
Okay,
lawyer.
compensation, yes, but I would like to see the division. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. Okay, what if we said you can't see the division, and we can't even discuss this? It's not relevant for you. You can't talk and you can't think about attorneys here.
Okay,
Can you enter a money judgment?
yes.
Everyone else that was supporting juror number 55, does anyone feel differently that you couldn't enter a money judgment unless you knew everything you needed to know about lawyers for the court system? Are y'all satisfied with that whole, with the juror number 55 speaker piece for everyone on that? Yes? Okay. Can I hear yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, juror number 55. If the standard of proof against a doctor is literally more probable than not, the balance on the scale is more probably than not, 51, 52, anything higher could be 99. Anything higher than 51, if that is the standard of proof, are you comfortable entering a judgment for money damages against a doctor? If they were negligent on a scale of, if you tilted that 50-50, 50-50, we don't prove it. Anything over 50, we start proving the case. Anyone feel that that is just wrong? That you should have to tilt that scale to 90 before you enter a money judgment against a doctor? You understand?
I just have a question. I
Yes.
just kind of confused by your 50%.
And if I'm a scales of justice, okay, who knows, like criminal, okay, a lot of people were in criminal juris here. Beyond a reasonable doubt, we're talking, right, beyond a reasonable doubt is 99.999. Okay. Civil case, preponderance of the evidence. It's more likely, it's more likely than not. It's more than 50-50. If I'm 50-50, it's got to be more than. If that is the standard, how many of you are uncomfortable with assessing money damages against a doctor? Yes, you're number 7.
51% is too close for me. If it was like 75%, I would feel a little bit more comfortable with money being awarded. But 51 is just, there's too fine of a line where they possibly are.
Okay. So, how many people support juror number 7? Feel that 51 is not enough. It should be more than 51%. 1, 2, 48, 55, and 53. Okay, but if you're shaking your head and waving your, okay, 40, so would it be fair to say about 2/3, almost half of the people believe that it should be more than 51%? And how many believe that it should be 75 or greater? Of everyone that believes it should be more than 51%. More than just more likely than not. But it should be pretty darn.
Yeah, I'd say 75.
How many people think that it should be 75% standard food?
So I don't see your number. Todd, do you still? Thank you. 31.
Is that higher than? You think 75 is okay? 75? So what's the difference between 51 and 75? Someone other than juror number 7.
75 is less error. I mean, finding who's guilty or. I don't know what you looking for.
Okay. Well, is anyone, as I'm speaking, uncomfortable with a civil justice system that says that more likely than not is the correct standard of proof? More likely than not. Does anyone believe that that's just wrong? It should be, instead of more likely than not, it should be, you better be pretty darn sure, not 100%, but pretty darn close.
Say something. I just think it's kind of ridiculous that you can be partially right and make the wrong decision. I mean, you're saying that 51%, well, yeah, it's probably more than likely that they did it, but we're just going to go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's kind of ridiculous that it should just be that much. And, I mean, not that we're all a bunch of buffoons, but, you know, we could be wrong.
Well, how much do you think it should be? You were winning.
What's the loss at, man? I don't know. I mean, it's just my opinion, right? It's going to ultimately be my opinion.
I would think if it's that close, just don't think so.
So you think, so if the law says it's more likely than not, just more likely than not, how many people reject that? So
What are
anyone,
you saying? Which law says that it's more likely than not? I don't get that part.
well,
Your Honor, I don't think we have a juror number on this juror that's been speaking.
I'm sorry.
Juror 32. Thank you, Counsel.
sorry, juror number 32, that was my fault for not telling you to put up your sign.
I get
I
it.
accept responsibility for that. If, I'm not the judge, and I don't know if the judge would like to read to you the burden of proof instruction. You don't have.
I do object to reading further juror instructions. I don't know if the judge does.
So if, I can say if the law is more likely than not, how many people believe that that is just something they cannot live with if they have to assess money damages?
I didn't know either.
Jury number 53.
I guess I think that the monetary is kind of towards the end. It's not just monetary, it's reputation too. I mean, you're putting a price on someone's reputation as well.
Okay. So that's a good point. What price are we, I mean, what are we doing for reputation?
Well, any time you win a lawsuit against another person, that other person's reputation is damaged. And it's, okay, 51%, what does that mean? Well, that person probably is wrong. Gee, that, I mean, so suddenly you're just, it's not just money, it's reputation involved. And that person's credibility as a, in this case, physician would be in question. Potential loss of income.
All right, thank you. Yes.
I feel like there's too much writing on that 1%. What she was saying with repetition on the line, I don't think that's fair. That's trying to change somebody's life.
Juror 7.
Anyone else want to comment on that? All right. If the law says more probable than not, let me ask it this way. If the law says more probable than not, then juror number 12, how are you going to, how do you weigh things in your own life? More probable than not. Sure, based on the evidence. Anybody believes that the standard really should be beyond the reasonable doubt in this case? If you're suing a doctor and the reputation is on the line, anybody believe that the true standard should be beyond a reasonable doubt instead of more probably than not? So, I'm sorry, can we, so the question is, when we're suing a doctor, their reputation's on the line, and we're asking for money damages, a lot of money damages. You believe that the standard should not be more probable than not, but it should be beyond a reasonable doubt. If you can just tell me your numbers, please. Okay, let me read these off and make sure I got it. 1, 2, 6, 7, 12, 13, 17, 19, 31, 32, 45, 48, 55, 60, and 53. Did I miss anybody? 55, I did say you. All right. Does anybody want to speak on that? On why you believe that way before I ask my next question? Is there a representative that would like to speak on that topic for everyone, or anybody that would like to speak?
Well, I would just like to say that in my own opinion, if I think it's kind of wishy-washy but maybe they did it, but I don't really know. I don't have any evidence to say yes they did it. And if I'm going to be damaging somebody in some way, I had better darn well be certain that this is exactly how it went down. It's my only indicator.
That was a great statement, better than I could paraphrase it. Is everyone that I just read their numbers off, do you believe that that correctly states your position? Yes. Everyone? Yes.
Yes.
And would it make you extremely uncomfortable? And let's say that the damages asked are millions. The reputation's on the line. There's more than $1 million being asked for damages. Do you believe that you could, in good conscience, enter a jury's verdict if you weren't absolutely certain, beyond a reasonable doubt, that that doctor was negligent? Does anybody believe that they would be able to do that? You all believe that you need to have certainty beyond a reasonable doubt. Am I correct?
Yes. Well,
Okay. Can I do this? If you believe that you need certainty beyond a reasonable doubt, if we're asking for millions, if the doctor's reputation is on the line, and you would be extremely uncomfortable unless it was certain and beyond a reasonable doubt, please raise your numbers. Okay, so 1, 2, 6, 7, 12, 13, 17, 19, 31, 32, 45, 48, 55, 59, 60, and 53. So we picked up number 59. Is that a fair statement? have very strong moral convictions with respect to that answer. Do you? Now, if the judge was to give you an instruction that you cannot require beyond a reasonable doubt, you could not require certainty, you could only have more probable than not, would you be able to put your moral conviction aside in this case? I ask you to really think about this question because real lives are being, are going to be center stage here. And I just need you to just think about what your heart's saying. Could you put aside your moral conviction requiring certainty in this case and go with what the judge says is the law if it is more probable than not? Is there anyone that would like to change their answer and say, yes, I can put aside my moral conviction? So is there anyone that would do that? Going once? Going twice?
I guess, the
13.
judge, if you're on the jury and the judge tells me that's the way I have to do it, I would have to do it that way because that's the law. Does that mean that I feel good about it? No. It's very subjective, and I'm a more objective person.
So you would be able to put aside your strong moral conviction and follow the law?
If that's what I'm required to do. That doesn't mean I'm
Happy about
throwing
it.
my morals away. But
It doesn't mean you're happy about it.
Right.
You're willing.
Exactly.
Is there anyone other than jury number 13 that would be willing to put aside their strong moral conviction and follow what the judge says? After all that, you're going to do it?
Well, I mean, if that's what
Through
I'm told to do, if that's what it is, that's what I would do. But all right, I'd rather see it the other way.
Okay, juror number 32, juror number 45.
Juror 19.
And juror number 19. Other than juror 19, 32, 45,
13.
oh, I'm sorry, and jury number 13. Am I correct that the rest of you would not put aside, would find it really, really difficult to put aside your moral conviction and just do a more probable than not if there's millions at stake and a doctor's reputation on the line? Am I correct? Going once, I'll do it again.
No, I'm not changing.
Okay. Going once.
Sorry.
Going twice.
Are you referring to the ones that originally raised their hands when you first asked that question?
Currently-
Or everybody in the
Currently, jurors number 1, 2, 6, 7, 12, 17, 31, 55, 60, 53, and 59 have said that they're deeply concerned to the point that they have a strong moral conviction that they would be unable to put aside their moral values concerning a doctor's reputation on the line and a request for millions of dollars of damages and require anything less than certainty. Anyone else feel that they could put that aside and follow the judge's instructions if it was just more probable than not?
I don't know if I heard you call my name, but or my number. 48.
Yes.
I could not do that.
Yes. And Your Honor, I would move to challenge for cause jurors number 1, 2, 6, 7, 12, 17, 31, 48, 55, 60, 53, and 59. Thank you.
Your Honor, I do not believe that each of those jurors actually have been asked and have stated that they have a deep moral conviction that they must set aside in order to follow the court's instructions. And I believe perhaps different questioning might get to this issue better. The phrase set aside, I think juror number 13 stated it well. He would follow the court's instructions, but that doesn't mean he's throwing his morals out the window. So perhaps there's been some misunderstanding.
Let me say this. I haven't given my instructions yet, but we're also running out of time for today because our jury that's been deliberating since last week has reached a verdict and I want to take that verdict and allow them to go. You've been here for less than a day. They've been here for 3 weeks. So on balance, I think it's their time. So I'm going to let Ms. Kohler finish up for 5 more minutes. We'll begin again in the morning, and I'll give you some additional time if you need it in the morning to follow up on this point. And then we'll hear again the final questions from the defense counsel. So we're going to let you go today, because by the time we get the verdict taken in the other case, there really won't be that much time left to question you, so we'll not ask you to wait around.